the secretary, people making a lot of questions, and we are here to invite us to keep doing the job, getting people out of votes. As many probably you don't know, he was the first and youngest councilman in San Antonio. And he was mayor of San Antonio, being the first Hispanic mayor in San Antonio. And he was the first Latino to be doing the keynote address for President Obama's convention in 2012. He was appointed as a Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. So we having a person that's starting a lot of firsts. So we're hoping that we're gonna having another first.
Let me just start with the most important question. Are you all ready to win? First of all, Lara, thank you very much for the invitation to be here in Beaufort County. Thank you to Trav also for calling me, and my attorney, and Bill, and all of the folks who have done such a great job building up a strong Democratic base in what I know, and I can commiserate with y'all because I'm from Texas. A rather conservative place, but that's changing. That is changing. And it's changing because of all of your activism and getting out there and pounding the pavement and talking to your neighbors and your friends and your coworkers. I want to give a big shout out to all the great candidates that we have here. Who's voted already? Who's already voted? Well, then, you know, we don't have to preach to the choir on that sense, but I did notice that not all of the hands went up, right? But, you know, even if you voted, I just want to say briefly a couple things. You know, I have a twin brother, Joaquin. Someone named Steve Joaquin on MSNBC or CNN. I'd like to say that I see him on TV more than I do in real life. He's in the House on the Intelligence Committee, no less, and he likes to go around telling people that the way to tell us apart is that I'm 1 minute uglier than he is. But it's not true. I'm 1 minute older. And you know, I was remembering the other day, somebody asked about President Obama. I wish that President Obama were still our president. Somebody asked about President Obama, and I remember the day that he called me to ask if I would consider serving in his cabinet was April 16th, 2014. I remember that day because I don't know about you, but it's not every day that a president calls you and asks you for it. I had just got through the drive-thru at Panda Express. Like takeout, something, sweet and sour something. And the cell phone, you know, my cell phone was ringing and it said private, which is kind of mysterious. So I answered it, and it was President Obama. And he asked if I wanted to, you know, he said that the current HUD secretary was moving on to the Office of Management and Budget, and would I be interested in serving in that capacity. And I had served at that time as mayor of San Antonio, my hometown, for 5 years. And I felt like we were doing great things. We had just passed a sales tax initiative to implement high-quality full-day pre-K in the city, to expand it in the city. And San Antonio was doing well compared to a lot of other cities. But then I remembered how much opportunity the Department of Housing and Urban Development helps create for people who are on honest needs. And that was the reason I originally went into public service in the first place. My brother Joaquin and I had grown up on the west side of San Antonio with my mother and my grandmother. and my grandmother had come over from Mexico when she was 7 years old with her younger sister because their parents passed away, and the nearest relatives they had lived in San Antonio. Unfortunately, they yanked her out of school before she finished elementary, and because of that, she worked as a maid, a cook, and a babysitter for her whole career, and she raised my mom as a single parent. My mom raised us as a single parent after the age of 8 when our parents split up, and we went to the public schools, and we're fortunate to be able to get scholarships to Stanford University, and there were Pell Grants and Perkins loans and federal work study. And I really saw that our country is at its greatest when we expect hard work from individuals and their families, but then when we match that hard work with meaningful, real opportunity. That has always been the recipe for success, and the history of our country has been that we have never been a perfect country. We've never lived up exactly to the words in our founding documents, but we've always had people who have been committed to making us better and better, to improving. That is what we've done consistently. And I'm proud to be here today because I know that I'm among a group of folks who believe in opportunity for everybody and who are committed in the same way the generations before. Whether it was expanding the suffrage or during the civil rights movement or making sure we got marriage equality, to ensure that everybody can prosper in this country. And we really are, it feels like, although it's an overused phrase, at a crossroads, especially after this last week when we see an administration that will stop at nothing, to win. The only thing that counts is winning. But we know that there are values that bring us together around rewarding hard work with opportunity, making sure that everybody counts in this country, making sure that we unite people instead of divide them, and that we're always trying to go forward, and that we embrace ethical and clean and honest representation. And the fact is that a lot of attention goes to what happens in D.C. and we see on TV. He's on TV all the time. That the fact is, so much of what actually impacts our lives, wherever we live, including here in Beaufort County, is what happens at the local and state level. Think about health insurance. Y'all have a governor that has stubbornly refused to expand Medicaid.
Not for long.
You have a state government that has refused to make the right investments in public education. I mean, think about all the investments that have been made in this state and how far the potential of South Carolina, if it made the right investments, to thrive in the 21st century global economy. Y'all have a state government that has not invested in infrastructure, in roads and bridges, as it should. Yeah, no, and I saw this one study, this analysis that said that the average South Carolinian pays $502 extra annually because of the condition of the infrastructure. And then you've had a state government that has been caught up in corruption scandal after corruption scandal, whether it was related to nuclear energy or other things. So there's a lot of room for improvement. And that's where the candidates that are running for state assembly, that's where the candidates that are running for county council come in. And I'm just proud to be here to support them and to do two quick things. Number one is to say gracias. Thank y'all. It's wonderful to see this crowd of people from different backgrounds, and we know that the Democratic Party is the big tent party, and we're ready for leadership in 2018 and beyond. Thank you for being the backbone of the efforts of this party to elect great folks. Making the phone calls, sending the emails, knocking on doors, haranguing your neighbors. I know that some days when we have very dark news out there, or you've been at it for a long time, you're at the end of the day, sometimes you can ask yourself, like, what in the world am I doing here, right? Those times when you get another one of those emails at 11 o'clock that says the sky's going to fall if you don't donate $5 by midnight. Sorry. When you pick up the phone and you call your friends around this time of the month or getting close to election and they ain't going to answer anymore. Or you go block walking for somebody and you knock on the door and maybe the dog comes up, you hear him on the other end of the door, but nobody answers the door, and so you knock again, nobody answers, but through the corner of your eye you see the blinds. They're not answering. I know that y'all are veterans of campaigns and volunteering and that y'all have seen all of that. Gracias, thank you for that. And the second thing that I came to do though is to challenge you. To challenge you to put more energy and more passion and more time and effort, as much as you possibly humanly can, in the next, I guess, 4 days, really, now, so that when the polls close at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, that we will see Democratic wins across the board. Secretary O'Leary has seen a lot, 10 different cities and Democratic organizations, and I believe her when she says that y'all are the best. And so I look forward to being back in San Antonio, and if y'all are like me, that night I'm going to have like 7 or 8 internet tabs open, looking at different results coming in, and they'll have the map of the red states and the blue states. I can't wait until my own state they announce that Beto O'Rourke. Personal favorite, but I can't wait until they announce that J.D. Scholten has beaten Steve King. And that Democrats have taken back the House of Representatives, taken back the Senate.